Bledsoe was arrested.
Patrick Montgomery was in court.
Jonathan Manapa will stay in federal custody.
No, I don't take responsibility at all.
Everyone, welcome to the show. So there is really great news to report today. The jury deliberated for only 2 hours in the trial for January 6th defendant Richard Barnett, and he was found guilty on all 8 counts against him. So here's what went down at trial. Here's why this was such an easy call. The prosecutor called more than 10 witnesses, one of which was the inventor and manufacturer of that 950,000 volt stun gun that Barnett carried into the Capitol. The manufacturer explained that, yes, it is a very powerful weapon, but he said it couldn't kill someone. He said it could harm someone, but it couldn't kill someone. As we all know, though, it could induce a heart attack. I mean, we saw what happened with Officer Mike Fanone. So that was a crucial element in this case because Barnett's charges included his possession of a deadly or dangerous weapon on Capitol grounds, which is that stun gun. So there's no doubt he had it, right? Whether it can kill someone, incapacitate them, harm them in some way, he still had it, right? And it was very powerful. Following that testimony, the prosecutor questioned an employee from the hotel where he stayed, and the employee told the jury that he witnessed Barnett demonstrating how the stun gun operates. He was showing it to other people. In fact, the management shut the bar down early that night because Barnett was showing off his stun gun. And then the jury also saw a hotel surveillance video, which showed him showing it off to other people, other patrons in this bar. In addition, the jury saw a graphic that Barnett posted on social media, which showed how the stun gun could be used in its compact state, or you could extend it and use it from a distance. Obviously, makes it much more dangerous, right? Then an FBI agent actually demonstrated for the jury how it works. They activated the model of the stun gun in court because they could never find Barnett's actual stun gun. They don't know what he did with it. So reporters say that one juror, when they lit this thing up, one juror covered her mouth. There was another one who covered her ears because of the noise that it was making. You know, it makes this clicking and like electrical sound. So clearly it bothered some of the jurors. And then additional witnesses included a Secret Service agent. There were also Metropolitan Police officers, one of which was Terrence Craig. Craig testified that Barnett threatened him, but he admitted that Barnett didn't actually touch him. And the prosecutor showed the jury a video of their interaction where Barnett was screaming and cursing at this officer. The jury also got to see Barnett's damning social media posts prior to January 6th, in which one, he said, quote, "didn't drive all the way up to sing Kumbaya." And then in another, he wrote, quote, "we aren't here to play. We own this. This is ours." So this was also vital evidence because Barnett tried to convince the jury he didn't have any kind of plan when he went to DC. He said, "oh, I just went there to peacefully protest." Barnett also wrote on social media that he reserved a, quote, bug out room to, quote, crash in safety on the night of January 6th. But the prosecutor said, no, he actually never checked into that hotel. Instead, Barnett drove home that night with his location services turned off. He paid cash all along the way, and he covered his face whenever he went inside anywhere. Not exactly the actions of an innocent man. So an FBI agent also testified. His name was Willett. He testified that he was one of the agents who questioned Barnett when he turned himself in. Willett told the jury, quote, "we were in there for just a minute or two, and he had kicked his feet up on the desk, and then he asked us, 'does this look familiar?' He asked us several times." So Barnett thought this was such a joke that as he's being questioned, as he's being interrogated, he's posing for the agents to recreate how he kicked back in Pelosi's office. And Barnett told Willett, quote, "I really don't regret it. I would do it again." Then it was time for Barnett's defense to try to undo some of this damage. It didn't go so well. Barnett's attorney told the jury that, quote, He's everyone's crazy uncle, but he's no Osama bin Laden. And he referred to him as a crazy redneck. He said he was hooting and hollering, but he got pushed into the Capitol. They actually tried to use that one. Then he also told the jury that this, quote, is the most famous trespassing case of all time. And then he actually tried to convince the jury that January 6th was a good thing because it boosted the local economy in D.C. I am not even kidding. And the jurors got to hear from Barnett himself. Barnett told the jury that he has, quote, regrets. And he said it was because, quote, of all the controversies, I probably shouldn't have put my foot on the desk. And my language, I'm a Christian. It wasn't good. It wasn't who I am. Really? Barnett also said he's, quote, sometimes a loudmouth. And then, of course, he blamed 2020. He blamed BLM protests for his anger and his fear. He cited all of the same videos of the burning buildings that were played on repeat on Faux News Channel because, of course, they didn't have enough to fill the airwaves. And then Barnett claimed that the numerous cans of pepper spray, 6 handheld radios, and that 950,000 volt stun gun that he took to DC, that was for protection from Antifa. Because he said, quote, I knew at night Antifa might be wandering around, killing and stabbing people. I wanted to be prepared. This is your brain on white fright. So Barnett also talked about how this has changed his life. He said, quote, 2 years of lost life, misery for my family. Yeah, he's been out on bail, by the way, for the most part. And in regard to Nancy Pelosi, he told the jury that he can't honestly say that he thinks Pelosi is a good person. Quote, but I shouldn't have called her a bitch. That's not right. The prosecutor, though, proved he was totally feigning remorse for the jury. They shared an audio recording of Barnett. This was when he was in pretrial detention in jail. He was talking with his wife, and in this recorded jailhouse call, he suggested to his wife that they try to copyright what he wrote in that note that he left in Pelosi's office because he wanted them to be able to profit from it, not other people. And as you guys may recall, that note said, quote, hey, Nancy, Big O was here, you biatch. So presumably, he wanted to put it on T-shirts or whatever before other people could. And according to reporters who attended the trial, Barnett's attorneys were literally laughing while the government was showing exhibits to the jury and presenting their case. And journalist Jordan Fisher noted, quote, no laughs from the jury so far. But my favorite part in this trial is what I'm dubbing the legally blonde moment. Under cross-examination, the prosecutor asked Barnett, do you ever tell lies? Do you ever maybe tell little small white lies? He said, no, of course not. I mean, he's a Christian and all that, right? So the prosecutor seemingly switched gears, and then they started asking Barnett about his love of the Constitution. So here's the exchange right after, do you ever tell little white lies? Prosecutor, you love the Constitution? Barnett, love it. Prosecutor, First Amendment? Barnett, yes. Prosecutor, Second Amendment? Barnett, yes. Prosecutor, love the Third Amendment? Barnett, yes. Prosecutor, what's the Third Amendment? Barnett paused, it said, and then he admitted, quote, I don't know.
And your boyfriend's name is Chuck.
So Barnett has now been convicted of civil disorder, obstructing an official proceeding, aiding and abetting in that crime, entering a restricted building or grounds with a deadly or dangerous weapon, 2 counts of disorderly conduct, one of which also includes an increased penalty for that deadly or dangerous weapon, entering certain rooms in the Capitol, parading or demonstrating in a Capitol, and theft of government property. So Barnett will be sentenced on May 3rd of this year. This is by U.S. District Judge Christopher Cooper. The felony obstruction charge, as you guys probably know, it carries a maximum potential sentence of up to 20 years in prison. He's not going to receive anything close to that, though, because he didn't commit any violent acts. Plus, this is a very weak Obama-appointed judge, so my guess is like 2 years. I hate to say that, but yeah, That's what I'm thinking. So anyway, guys, I will let you know when that all goes down. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please donate if you possibly can. Please sign up to become a monthly supporter. It really helps to keep the show going. Appreciate it. Take care. I'll talk with you soon.